You are listening to the Adult Sabbath School lessons for the third quarter of 2022. This is lesson number 8 of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide in the Crucible with Christ. The lesson is titled Seeing the Invisible and is ready for teaching on August 20. The author is Pastor Gavin Anthony, who was conference president in Iceland when he wrote this series of lessons. Today your lesson is read by Dr. Percy Harrold. Thursday, August 18. Still faithful when God cannot be seen. To think that no one cares about what is happening to us is very unpleasant. But to think that God does not know or care about us can be most distressing. To the Judeans, exiled in Babylon, God did not seem to care much about their situation. They were still exiled, still feeling abandoned by God because of their sin. But Isaiah speaks words of comfort to them. Isaiah 40 is a beautiful passage in which Isaiah speaks so tenderly to the people about their God. He tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. He gently leads those that have young. Isaiah 40 verse 11. But after so long, the exiles were thinking, "Where are you, O Lord? We can't see any evidence that you are still there or care." Read Isaiah 40 verses 27 to 31. In what ways does Isaiah describe God? How is this description of God meant to answer their belief that my way is hidden from the Lord, my cause is disregarded by my God? Isaiah 40 verse 27. Let's read, beginning at Isaiah verse 27 of chapter 40. Why do you say, O Lord, and speak, O Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord, and my just claim is passed over by my God? Have you not known, have you not heard, the everlasting God, the Lord, the Creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might he increases strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Another group of people who might have considered that their way was hidden from God is found in the book of Esther. In this book, God is not mentioned even once. However, the whole story is an unfolding drama of God's intervention to save his people from an irrevocable law to have them destroyed. Not only does this story describe events of the past, but it also symbolizes a time in the future when God's people will again be persecuted and a law again will be introduced for their destruction, as we read in Revelation 13:15. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. Can you imagine how easy it would be to conclude that if such terrible circumstances existed, God must surely have deserted his people? But we are not to fear. The same God who saved his chosen ones in the story of Esther will save them again in the final crisis. And so to finish the day, we have read how Isaiah described God to the exiles. How would you describe God to people who felt that God had disappeared and had abandoned them? How would you teach them to see through the eyes of faith and not be dependent on what they see around them with their human eyes? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. And you can listen and watch at the same time on YouTube. Remember, God is always faithful.